Do you want to know how amazing people connect? Well, you're in the right place. Welcome to Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie.
Thanks for connecting. And if you like what you hear, please share.
Special thank you to our sponsors, the Oregon Marketing Group and Financial Freedom Wealth Management. For more information on Oregon Marketing Group and their marketing services, go to OregonMarketingGroup.com. And for more information on Financial Freedom Wealth Management Group, go to FinancialFreedomWMG.com. Hey, everybody. Russ here on Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Just grooving to the music like I always love to do. You know, I always tell you I'm just a proud dad of my musical family, but all that music is written and produced by my son, Connor, who's an amazing musician, and appreciate my kids. Both Connor and Kyla are just amazing. And I just aspire to be them now when I grow up, because now I'm learning from them. They're all grown up and doing amazing things. So enough bragging about my children and my family, but I just wanted to say good morning to everybody. I'm so excited to be here. You know, I love every opportunity I get to be with amazing people who connect. You know, that's what we're all about here on Marketing with Russ, is how amazing people connect. And today we have one of those super amazing connectors. Michael Ray is with us today. We're going to get to him in just a minute. So excited about that. But I wanted to tell you before we get rolling that if you want to connect with me, the best place to go is russhedge.com. That's russhedge.com. And you know, I have a goal this year to connect with at least 1,000 new people. That's connect, not just contact. I want to connect and get to know at least 1,000 new people this year. And I'm super excited about that goal and doing great every day. That's at least 3 people a day. I'm blowing that out of the water. So having so much fun, meeting new friends, connecting with new people. And so I think that's a great goal for all of us, to build community. And that is what I am all about, is building community, connecting with others. In fact, I just want to let you know that, first of all, if you've not joined us before, welcome. But my purpose and why in life is to inspire and encourage you to live a purpose-driven life of significance. And what does that mean? I want you to be a world changer. I want you to be a difference maker. I want you to do the amazing things God has created you to do. And I think you can do it. I believe all of us have amazing, just waiting to burst out and do great things. God has talented you and gifted you in areas you may not even know yet. But you know what? It takes stepping forward, moving forward, taking action on all that we do to really find out what we can do to bless others in this world. You know, my good friend D. Scott Smith says that the only barrier to entry in things that we want to do today and in this life is our willingness to step forward and to take action. And you know, there's so many great tools like this, like live streaming, like social media, and all those areas where we can meet amazing new people. So just want to let you know that if I can help in any way, please go to russhedge.com. That's russhedge.com. And I also wanted to tell you that coming up this next Wednesday at noon Pacific Daylight Time, I have Successfully Transform Your Business in 3 Simple Steps. it is all about community building. It is all about connection. And so if you want to attend that, there's a great promo code now. It costs virtually nothing. But if you have any problems even paying that, just message me. I will make sure that you get in that, because I'm all about giving you the benefit, giving you the blessing. I want you to be able to connect and build community. So I think that's almost it, except for, don't forget, I am the author of Befuddled, Live the Life You Choose. Normally I have that book right behind me. I am on location today doing the live stream, so I don't have that here, but that is my book to encourage and inspire you. And you can get that on Amazon or any online booksellers. Would love for you to get a copy of that. It's a lot of fun. It tells a little bit about me. And so it would be great if you're able to do that. So I think that just about wraps it up. We need to get Michael Ray in the room, because I'm getting excited already. He's there, ready to roll with his smiles. Here he is, Mr. Michael Ray.
What's up, baby? How are you, man?
Woo, I am so good. You know, I have been following you for so long, and you and I finally connected. We're able to talk and really get to know each other. And you are an amazing individual.
Talk about, I was like, when I saw your intro, I was like, I know just about all those faces. I'm like, man, maybe one day I can aspire to be on.
Well, it's so much fun. That's one thing I love.
Which you talk about connection is so beautiful, because a lot of those faces, you know, are people that I've connected with, and in some cases I've met personally. So
yeah. It's there's some amazing people out there. I'm blessed every day. I just think how blessed I am by God to be able to meet people like you, Michael Ray, like all those people that you saw, that they're willing to connect with me, and we just have built beautiful friendships. And I am all about smiles and having fun, but I want you to tell everybody how you take that to a whole new level.
How do I take it to a new level? You know, I guess it's, first of all, it's just a blessing. It's a mindset. It's how I want to make people feel. I'm not afraid what others think about me, but so I live within my space. So when I do what I do, and primarily do it with a lot of strangers, I'm just being in the moment and being present and really focused on them. And again, it's a feeling. And I think what I've learned in this journey as it relates to smiling is that it's a nonverbal way to share love with a stranger. So, and to me, you know, love is a feeling, you know, that we feel. That the foundation for me comes from a little girl who can't speak. So that's how I felt the love from her, was through the simplicity of smiling. So, you know, when you talk about living purpose-driven lives and, you know, a calling, it truly was just that. I tell people God speaks to us all the time, but just most of the time we tune him out, or we're too busy, or we don't understand. But I think I've had some of those moments in which I have listened to God, and I've created the change in my life, and it's impacted the lives of others.
Well, you know, I think that's one thing that is really amazing to me, is that you are really a man of faith, and love comes from God. Let's just face it. And we get to share that and bless others with that. And the things that you do with, I mean, the videos with your daughter are amazing. And then the videos you do when you're out blessing people, give everybody, for those that have not seen them and don't know, which probably not a whole lot of people, give us a little snapshot in what you do.
Yeah, well, I'll take a small step back. And when I say a small step back to really the foundation, and when it first started, it really wasn't about videos, but I was taking pictures with strangers. And I had felt so much joy in simple moments in life, in which, again, I often told people I never sought out the pictures. I just always happened to be, you know what they say, in the right place at the right time. And I always looked at that as being, for me, you know, kind of the Holy Spirit guiding me. But I went the better part of about 18 months taking pictures with people, and I felt such joy in these moments, and I was sharing them to social media, and they were resonating with people. Where it really transcended and evolved was I said, okay, if we're trying to make the whole world smile and we're taking these still pictures, what would it be like if I did a random act of kindness for somebody to make them smile and feel loved? And And we did that. And again, it was like joy personified. It was like joy on steroids. You know, you feel those emotions from those moments. And then I started getting feedback from people who were watching it, and how much they enjoyed it, never thinking too that Russ, that would evolve to the point where people would start telling me about others and sharing their stories and why they were at a point in their life that they needed somebody to come in and interject some hope, some love, some kindness, some smiles. So I still freelance and do some, and, in which I have no idea the who, the where, the what, the when, the why. I'm just out and about. And again, I kind of feel things, but for the most part, locally, a great example is one I did last Friday with Maddie, in which, this family has fostered and adopted special needs kids. That's a choice, so we went and did something, for their family, to make them feel loved. But a lot of times, in doing the videos, it's really giving people, just that small glimpse that life is meant to be enjoyed. It's a choice. Joy and happiness is a choice. So it's just finding the ability to smile through adversity. That when life, because again, it's personal experience for me, but when life gets really hard, the struggles and challenges seem insurmountable, is when we generally become depressed, and we regret life, and it impacts our relationships, and personally and professionally. So when we get that opportunity to understand that joy is a place regardless of circumstances.
Right. Well, that is such a great point, because we get a choice every day what path we take and what we choose to do with what life deals us, right? People say, well, I can't control life and what happens to me. And I say, you're right, you can't. There could be some pretty lousy things that happen. That's true. But you get to choose and decide what you do from there. You get to choose where you go from there. And what do you want for your life? Do you want to be depressed and down and negative? Is that what you want for your life? Because if you choose that path, that's what you're going to get. And that's what's going to reflect back on you. But if you are Michael Ray, as an example, and you are blessing and smiling and loving other people in spite of what's going on in your life, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life. You're doing it anyway. You're blessing other people. That makes all the difference. And then you have a positive, uplifting mindset and life because of what choices you're making.
Amen, brother. It is exactly that. And again, it comes from a place of experience. And I tell people, it's not my place to judge your journey in, your struggles, however you may perceive them, are your reality. And it doesn't mean that they're harder or, easier than anybody else, but it's, I read something one time, from Mother Teresa, as it relates to joy, in which, you're talking about insanely poor people.
Right.
With the level of joy those people still had, even though in some cases they didn't know when their next meal was going to be, they didn't have roofs over their head, they were walking on dirt roads. But yet, so I often look back, and that's again where I find my joy is a choice, and I choose it through the people that I love and or touch. That's where my joy comes from.
Right. Well, and I think we all need to dig deep and think about that. I have actually a little thing I do every morning. I'm a joyful guy, right? That's why I love you, Michael Ray, because I'm that kind of person. I'm choosing joy. I'm choosing goodness, right? It doesn't matter what's going on. And I have a little bottle. I had a friend that had a business, and they did essential oils. It was a place where they had massage, essential oils, and all that. And they were great people and did great work. But anyway, my friend one day gave me a little teeny bottle of this oil, and it was labeled joy. And every day to this point, and I'll send her a video. I send her a little message every now and then. To this day, I take a little dab of that joy oil and I put it on my heart every morning. It's just a reminder for me. The oil does not bring the joy, but the act of me doing that and thinking about it
Sure.
gives me joyful thoughts right off the bat. And so it's a choice that we make, right? And man,
It is. My cologne is no different than your oil. When I spray it on and I know that I'll go out smelling good, I'm going to bring something to somebody. They're going to look at me and go, well, man, you smell good. But you're right. Again, I think some of that goes back to mindset, in which, again, it may have no scent and it doesn't need to, but when rubbing it on, you're reminding yourself that you're making a choice daily to be joyful.
Yeah.
There's something special about that.
It's interesting you bring that up too, because later on today I have a Russ Reels live at 4 p.m. PDT for anybody watching.
I think I saw Raquel Boris is on that with you.
Yeah. And I have Raquel messaged me this morning and actually told me she really wanted to drop in and say hi. She didn't think she was going to be able to do it because she's on the road.
That's okay.
But she's going to actually appear from on the road later on today because she's got a crazy busy day. And but it was interesting because that whole group, we're talking mindset later on, and I purposely selected a group of insanely positive and good, people. But the whole thing is, I think that when we're able to bring that joy, bring that presence, bring what you bring to other people and that joy, then it fuses that in them. I mean, because if you have joyful people around you, it's hard not to be joyful, right? You might be, if you're really down, you might be irritated for a moment, but pretty soon you're going to be smiling and laughing and feeling a whole lot better.
There's something about, the energy in which we carry that is contagious. And again, like I said earlier, in a lot of cases, these people are strangers, so when you choose to, put your arm around a complete stranger in a moment, again, I say that I've been blessed with that energy in which people just feel it, so it's important. I said to my daughter recently, I don't really have bad days. I have bad moments. I'm still a human being, so it doesn't mean that life doesn't impact me, but I don't allow it to control me and control my happiness.
I love that. I love what you just said there because, we are not our circumstances. Yeah. We are not what life does to us. Life doesn't happen to us. It happens for us. And if we look at the situations, so often there's so many negative things that are actually teaching us and shaping us and making us stronger. They're actually doing really good things for us when it seems like a bad situation. Sometimes we have to go, God uses that sandpaper, right, to get off the rough edges and make us better for what we have ahead. And so I think those choices every day, mindset is so critical to life. And for those people that are watching today and you're struggling, because we all do. Michael says, Michael Ray, you said you have, bad moments sometimes, but you don't let it control your life and what you're doing. We all do. We all have those moments. We all have those situations. And sometimes, honestly, let's face it, it's good to let yourself be down for a second. It's good to be remorseful, be sad, whatever for a moment, go through that emotion, because that is part of you and that's actually moving you forward and letting that out, right? So that you can get back to the joy.
Amen, brother. I mean, that's exactly, where it is. Otherwise, when you allow it, it's almost like, a chamois on a car when it's dry. When you try to pour water on it, it repels the water, so you don't allow it to get in. You do enough, it will saturate itself, but it's the same thing with the mind. And I say this a lot of times to the love of my life, in which, okay, it happened, but I just won't allow it to continue to define me and control my brain like things used to. Right. And that's the reality. Again, I speak from experience as far as where I've come from in life and the things that I've kind of endured, that I don't want to go back there.
Right. Well, and those are choices that you're making. So I'm a huge believer that if we fill our minds and we fill our lives with good things intentionally on purpose, that life is going to be so much better because we're filling ourselves up with those. And there's no room for the negative stuff because we're filling ourselves. It's like eating a meal. you stuff yourself and there's no room to put more food in, right? Well, you stuff yourself with good stuff, joy and smiles. It's hard to have that bad stuff in you.
And sometimes when you choose to have that piece of pie or more, you feel miserable. And it's no different when, again, all that toxicity in our life, we allow it to impact us day in and day out. And we wonder, why sometimes then we're a depressed society and mental health has become an issue. And, then there are other forms of release, whether it's alcohol, drugs, food, we make bad choices then.
Yeah. Yeah.
We tell our kids all the time, we're a product of our choices.
That's right. Well, we're a product of our choices and we're also a product of our environment. So what does that mean? You have the choice to put yourself in a particular environment or leave yourself in a particular environment. Let's say that somebody right now is saying, yeah, I didn't choose my environment. I got thrown into this. This is the lot I was dealt. Well, okay, that might be true, but you have a choice to move out of that environment. I came out of a crazy good environment as a kid growing up, had beautiful, wonderful parents, great years growing up, went to college, got into a crazy party environment, a different thing, not so good, did not make good choices, did not do good things. So when I got to the end of my college years, met my beautiful wife and met the Lord and my life changed, I intentionally made the choice to put myself in a good atmosphere around different people doing good things full of joy. And that changed my entire life. But I had to make that choice. Nobody can make that choice for us. God can't even make that choice for us. We're the ones.
He gives us free will. So yes, he gives us the ability to choose.
Yeah. Yeah.
And understanding, and again, some of those choices have more consequences.
Yeah. You're right. Well, I think that people see you, Michael Ray, and I see you so much where you have the big smile, you're laughing, you're with Maddie Moo, you guys are having a great time. She's full of so much joy, I mean, how can you not see her and be full of joy, right? And, but then you're bringing joy to other people too, in that when you're, giving them gift cards or the things that you're doing. And it is just me choosing to watch that and choosing to put myself in your environment, it adds value to me and makes me more joyful. And I thank you for that.
Well, I appreciate those, simple yet kind, loving words. And, in a lot of cases in what we do, there are times in which when we're on social media that we're drawn to the analytics. And we're wondering why, when we would share something with the world, why this resonates differently. But I fundamentally often say and go back to the simplicity of how things have happened in my life. And it really just comes down to, if you're touching the life of a singular person, again, the amount of people that life touches, from there, we are changing the world. One smile, one person, one random act of kindness at a time. And, and again, a lot of that, not a lot of it, all of it comes from a place of the relationship I have with Christ. Yeah. It's fundamentally, again, I think I go back, and what I've learned from Maddie is there is that level of unconditional love. The wiring is just different. With those with Down syndrome, and they have infinite unconditional love, and they see the world differently because they don't judge. So when you have the ability to take judgment away from it, well, then all your actions as you interact with people in life come from a place of love. So it took a hot minute to understand that, because I went through other struggles and challenges, but yet again, I often privately tell her, because as people may or may not know, being nonverbal and not being able to talk, I laugh to her and say she's the world's greatest secret keeper, because whatever you tell her, she obviously can't repeat. But I've had, some private moments with her in which, I do thank her, and I'm grateful that in some form or fashion she saved my life.
Right.
So.
Well, and lot of people don't look at it like that. That's interesting you say that, because a lot of people are like, oh, poor Michael Ray has to deal with a daughter with Down syndrome. Woe is him. What a rough life. You do not look at it that way at all. It's interesting because a good friend of mine is that I'm going to see here shortly, actually, has 12 children. Two of them have Down syndrome. And after they had their first child with Down syndrome, this sounds kind of weird, but this is what he actually said to me. They were kind of hoping their 12th would have Down syndrome too, because that child brought so much joy to the whole family. And it was and God actually gave him that gift. He's a pastor too,
Oh, wow.
Sam, and he actually runs a business, is a pastor, has 12 children, obviously an amazing wife with 12 children because she homeschools them all. And but the 12th one did have Down syndrome. And it's just an amazing joy for them. And the way they look at it, just like you're talking about, saving your life, helping you as a person. It's amazing. I mean, it can be looked at in an amazing way.
And you know what? Again, yeah, it's I think how we perceive things in our life and react to it. And I often go back to a period of time in which I say was never a bad father, but probably wasn't present enough and didn't understand and or appreciate the gifts and things that she was teaching me until my life got turned upside down. And, again, the one consistent thing I always had, other than my other so-called normal kids, because then all of a sudden they're teenagers and we know how teenagers act and how those relationships go. But it was just that one constant for me that I, again, then started to learn and appreciate what I was seeing and feeling. I mean, technically, Small Project Louisville didn't start till early 2018, but I have so many things primarily on Facebook. And I often tell people the beauty of Facebook is at least it shares your memories. And I've been on that platform since 2008, 2009. So it daily reminds you. And the daily reminders that I get of things that I've posted between, Maddie and myself, going back 8, 10, 11 years ago, were really what I'm doing today. But again, it's just setting that foundation, and understanding. So when I see that now, there are these joyful reminders of where I was with her, whatever we were doing. And in a lot of cases, it was just that contagious, simple smile that she had for me, because again, that was the only way I knew that she loved me.
Right. Right.
Russ, I tell people we take it for granted. When you're a parent, just your kids always say, "I love you, Dad. I love you, Mom." It's one of those very simple things when they're 3, 4 years old that you hear, and again, the emotion's amazing. But when you don't hear it,
right.
How do we find it? Some other way. So
That's interesting because I deal with that. She's not completely nonverbal, but my mama has Alzheimer's, and I don't know if you've ever seen. I put a little information out there about that, but she's in late stages, and so sometimes she's very nonverbal, and other times she's very mixed up verbal. The words and what she said doesn't make sense, and every now and then she gets a little bit of clarity. And she every now and then will tell me she loves me, even though she thinks I'm my dad. That's okay. She thinks my son is me and I am my dad. But you know what? It's that look in her eyes. It's the nonverbal that I know she recognizes me. I know deep down in her heart she knows me and that she loves me. And it's that look that I get. And I even have the caregiver sometimes say, "Oh my goodness, she's like completely different around you. When you come, she lights up, and there are days when that doesn't happen because of the disease,
Of course.
But when that does, it really reminds me what you're talking about. Love goes deep. Love and joy are really infused within our being. It doesn't always have to be a verbal thing. And I just think I just think you're amazing, Michael. But you know what? I got to wrap things up because the show is winding up. But we're going to do two things. First of all, we're going to schedule part 2 because I got to have you back on.
Okay.
I'm also going to get you on the Experience Live with Russ and Scott, our show on Wednesdays too, because you'd be awesome on that.
I'd love that. Thank you.
I just want you to just tell everybody what you want them to remember about today. What do you want to leave them with? And then tell us how to get in touch with you. So because people are going to want to reach out that don't know you already.
Yeah. It really just goes back to the simplicity of people can see and feel your energy and your love. And I've done it to every post I have, because again, it's just a reminder to people that when I say, you can be so happy that when others see you, they become happy too.
Right.
It's a very real thing, so just be mindful of that. And a lot of times when you want to, you have to be intentional when you first start. I was too, but then it becomes so natural. And the impact that you'll have at times when you don't even speak to people, but you just smile to them, it will warm their hearts. So be mindful of that, everybody, as you go around, because again, our lives intersect with so many different people.
Right.
Just smile at a stranger.
I love that, by the way. I do. In fact, my kids, I used to drive them crazy because I smile and say hi to everybody. And then when they were young, they're like, Dad, stop. I'm like, why? I just want to smile and be happy.
I've driven my kids crazy too. Trust me.
So how do people get in touch with you? What's the best?
If you're on LinkedIn, hit up Michael Ray. I don't have a special page. If you're on Facebook, it's Michael Ray or Smile Project Louisville. I'm the same way on Instagram. You can go out to my website and see a lot of the works. It's Smile Project. We say Louisville here in Louisville, not Louisville, but smileprojectlouisville.com. You can check our work out there, and we appreciate all the love and support.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, for those of people that are paying attention and are watching, it's there in the comments. We got it up on the screen now. Also, just want to remind you, it's all clickable. It's in the show notes. It's in the comments. All you got to do is click, and then you're there to Michael Ray, and you can connect with him. He's an amazing individual. Michael Ray, I tell you, I feel like you and I have known each other for years and years. You are an amazing individual. I look forward to building our friendship and relationship. I always joke with people, I'm a lifetime connector. So now you're stuck with me as your friend.
That's all right, man. I look forward to the day we can hug it out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm all about that. So Listen, thanks so much again. I am going to let you go for just a second to the green room, but don't go anywhere. Hang tight, and I'll see you in a minute.
God bless. Thanks, brother.
Thank you. Wow, man, oh man, I tell you, they get better and better and better. And all of the guests that I have on are so amazing. I just am so blessed that I get to do what I get to do. I'm just so blessed that I get the opportunity to meet so many amazing people. And all of you in the comments, such amazing friends, such amazing people that are here today, taking your time. Your time is valuable, and I appreciate that you want to hang out with me and Michael Ray and smile a little bit. Today was a little more in depth for a short period of time with Michael Ray, but we're going to have part 2 coming up. We'll be scheduling that because you know what? We need to have more time to talk it out. Also, don't forget. So first of all, remember we're here every Monday and Thursday at 8 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Marketing with Russ, and we're here with amazing people who connect every Monday and Thursday. And on Wednesdays, it's the Experience Live with Russ and Scott. Michael Ray will also be appearing on that show. And that is an amazing place where we talk about the experience of life and connect with you. That's every Wednesday at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. And I want to remind you, Thursday evenings or afternoons, wherever you are, 4 o'clock PDT today, we are at Russ Reels Live. And that is a topic-driven, panel-driven live stream. Amazing people, 5 amazing people on there with me today. And we're talking mindset, and we're talking how you deal with your life and your business and all that you're doing. So join us today for that. And again, thank you to everybody. I still have people coming in, still have people in the comments, still have people that are here to say hi to Michael Ray. And so keep it coming. Do me a favor. Don't forget this stays on the platforms you're watching on after we're done. Share it out. Share it out. There's so many people that watch on replay. share it out, share the love, and let your friends know about this amazing Michael Ray guy that you saw on Marketing with Russ. And we just will really appreciate that. I appreciate all of you. And I just want to tell you, I'm so thankful. Again, don't forget, coming up, Successfully Transform Your Business next week. It is not, there is a charge for that, but if you can't afford it or you want to go to it, just message me. I will do it. But it's $49, so it's not a big deal, but it is something I want to get out to everybody. So I just want to let you know that. And I appreciate you all. Until we see you again, have a great day and a great life. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thanks for joining us for this week's episode of Marketing with Russ, aka #RussSelfie. Be sure to subscribe in your favorite podcast app so that you don't miss a single episode. Have an amazing day.